everyone and welcome to the second episode of Job Journey, and today I'm here with Nayoka and we're in London at the moment in the hostel and it's quite relaxed here, and now we just sat down to have a little chat with her and I'm very happy to meet her and I'm very glad you're here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So your job is being a host. You're a radio host and you also host your own online show.
Yeah, indeed.
And could you just introduce yourself a bit more to everyone out there?
Sure. So my name is Nayoka Oware, and I'm the founder and the host of The Journey Online, and I also work as a presenter on voiceofafricaradio.com. I always say that all together, there's no need for it. It's on 94 FM.
As I said, you work as a radio host and you host your own show. What made you want to choose this job?
Okay. I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I love being in front of the camera. And I tried acting when I was really young. Actually, my mum forced me into acting.
Really?
But
That's rare.
I enjoyed it nonetheless. I think she wanted me to be in front of the camera as well. I don't know. But I enjoyed it, but it wasn't for me. It simply wasn't. There were certain things that I wouldn't be comfortable doing. Didn't really like people breathing on me. You know, like kissing things and stuff like that. It's not for me. So I wouldn't do it. And then I don't know when I became interested in presenting, but I know that when I realised that it was for me, I gave it my all. So with Voice of Africa Radio, it was recommended to me by my bishop, and he's an absolutely beautiful man. And when I started it kind of built my confidence. I was a volunteer, first of all, and after 5 months, they threw me on air. And I was like, wonderful. So you kind of have to build your confidence. You don't really have time to be completely honest. You just have to kind of, I don't know, you have to kind of force yourself to build your confidence.
Okay.
And just go with the flow when you're on air. At least no one can see you.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And with The Journey, I decided to start that because I wanted to inspire, encourage and motivate people. I didn't want it to be about me, because when I'm on radio, the only person that people can hear is you, and it kind of is all about you.
Yes.
However, with The Journey, if you have a guest, I think people tend to focus more on the guest than they do the host. And that is exactly what I wanted, a story coming from them that could inspire others.
Okay. How many listeners does Voice of Africa have?
600,000 plus.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Yes, they come. I mean, I think more listeners have been introduced to it because of the type of shows that are run now. Like, we're trying to bring in new listeners. So we have younger listeners, we have mature listeners, and I think that's the way it should be. Did
you always know that you want to get into this field, and how did you start really?
No, I didn't know that I wanted to become a presenter, but like I said, I've always loved being in front of the camera.
Yes.
How did I get into it? Well, first of all, I wrote down the vision, as in, well, one, you want to be a presenter, ... what do you need to do, like, what is the criteria? I did a lot of research on the presenters that are out there at the moment, and the presenters who used to present, because I wanted to see what kind of qualities they had and what was so unique about them, because it's very difficult, as it is with any industry, to break into presenting. I'm not sure if you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a real challenge. So I wanted to see what made them so special and why they were selected. And all of them differ. Like, one presenter could be so different from the next one, so it's very difficult to pinpoint it. And kind of going off track here, but how did I, like, what did I do? I wrote it down first and foremost, and the way I executed it is that I looked for a camera person, because I knew I couldn't film myself because I wanted to be on the other side of the camera. So I hunted down a camera person, absolutely lovely woman called Jess. Don't have a clue where she is now though. And she kind of, well, I explained to her what the purpose of The Journey was. First and foremost, it was to spread the gospel. So if you look at my first few videos, you'll see me interacting with people, but I'm talking about the Bible, and that's all I'm talking about. But then after speaking to my bishop, once again, and also there were 4 crucial moments. So I spoke to my bishop, I listened to a sermon, My sister came up with an idea that was very similar to the journey, and we discussed it. And I also spoke to 4 friends, Natalie, Jackie, Nyamba, and Antonia. And all of them contributed to the journey in some way. But over time, I developed it with the help of my bishop and my husband as well.
Oh, you're married?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am. So over time it was developed, but it started out with me wanting to spread the gospel. But I realized that if I did that, I would be excluding a number of people, and that is not what the journey is about at all. Irrespective of your race, your height, your size, your religion, you have a story to tell, and people want to hear it because it can inspire others. So
Yes.
It's as simple as that, really.
Now some general facts about being a host. You just said it's quite a difficult field to get into, but
As with anything, I think.
yeah, I guess. But some jobs are, I guess, a bit harder to enter, and I guess hosting might be one of them.
It's
But what are some other general facts about the job, or what do you do basically?
General facts about the job. It's fun. I enjoy it a lot, but I think I only enjoy it because I know it's for me. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about. So even if I wasn't being paid to do it, I would still do it. However, I do need to be paid because you can't pay the bills in love. You need to pay the bills in money. I think that if it's something that I'm not passionate about, it's something you shouldn't do. It's as simple as that, because you won't be able to endure the things the challenges that you may have to go through.
And then what qualifications do you need, and what kind of apprenticeship did you do?
Okay, so I have a degree in journalism and communication with creative writing. It's such a mouthful, but like, if I don't say it, the course just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know if you really need any qualifications for presenting, to be completely honest. Not that presenters are stupid or anything like that. I'm a presenter, I would never say something like that. However, I think it's more based on your skill, your ability and your talent. Because teaching someone to present and knowing how to do it yourself are 2 completely different things. It's like teaching someone how to sing and someone having the natural gift of being able to sing. Completely different. So in regards to the qualification, I don't know if it's helped me in any way, but I think if you have the skill, the gift, the ability, and also do some research on your desired kind of area. For example, if you want to present, if you want to be a host of a fashion show, you need to know about your designers, you need to know about fabrics, you need to know about a number of things, what's in trend and what's not. So all of these things I think will contribute to being a phenomenal presenter.
You just said you basically need some skills and talents, but
definitely
for presenting, what skills and talents should that be?
There's like a long list.
Name the top 3.
Really long list. I think that you have to be bold, you have to be sharp, you have to be able to think on your feet. Because if, for example, you have quite I don't know if I could call them a difficult guest, but a guest that is very difficult to interview, like if you want to get answers out of them and they're kind of just a yes and no person, you're going to have a lot of difficulty speaking to them. So if you're not sharp and quick on your feet, you wouldn't know what your follow-up question would be. You might have a list of 10 questions. If you go through all your questions and they say no, what do you do next? So be quick on your feet. Think of new questions. You know what I mean? So courageous, I think there's a bold actually, sharp, and have faith. Faith will take you very far.
And then what are the top do's and don'ts for interviewing someone?
Yeah. Okay, let me start with the do's. Do's. Always remember that they are a person. They are a person just like you. No matter how famous they are, no matter what height they've reached, they're just like you. So treat them in the same manner that you would want to be treated, and interview them in the same manner that you would want to be treated. Respect their craft, and don't just like pose questions that will gain you more viewers. Be respectful of, you know, the kind of person they are and what they do, and don't just throw out ridiculous questions because you want more viewers. Being talkative always helps as well, because when you're off camera, you have this person right in front of you, you're going to have to converse with them. You can't just like let them sit there in silence, really uncomfortable. Don't be unpleasant. That's always a good one. Don't throw anything at them. I mean, there are loads of don'ts. Just do your best to be pleasant and make them feel comfortable.
I think that's what you can do very well.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's good.
Then you're a radio host, but you also do the journey, and with the journey you're on camera, and on the radio obviously no one can see you. What do you prefer?
I like both of them, but as I've mentioned before, in radio you have more freedom, simply because if you have the guest on air, say they're on the telephones, it's a telephone interview, you have the freedom to maybe throw your hands up in the air and relax your feet on the desk. You can put your toes on the mic, no one can see you.
You don't have to wear makeup.
This is the thing, no one can see you unless you're on Skype or something. But when you're in front of the camera, you're a lot more aware of yourself, your position. You have to be more, well, I mean, in the studio you do have to be presentable, but you can't like come on camera wearing your bedroom slippers and stuff. In the studio you can, you're free to. So which one do I prefer? Depends on the day.
If you had to choose?
I prefer being on camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your key to be successful in your job?
What works for me, so this is more personal, what works for me is having faith in God. My faith in God comes first, above everything. So that's the first thing that works for me. My relationship with Him is what will take me the furthest. I think you have to be able to endure a lot, because when you start out, you may not progress as quickly as you think you will. And like I said, if you have passion for what you're doing, you will stick to it. You will stay with it, even if you have to give up all the money you have, you will stick with it because you know it's for you.
Yes.
So faith, having passion, being able to endure whatever comes your way, being persistent, being consistent, and also you can't be sluggish, because there will be days when you have very early mornings and extremely late nights. Sometimes I get 3 hours sleep or 2 hours sleep, and it's something I have to do because I have to get my job done. If you want it enough, you will put in the time, you will put in the work. Don't let the gift that God gave you go to waste.
And can you see me as a host, and in what kind of other jobs could you, or what kind of other jobs could you see me doing?
You know, I think that you're quite personable, and that's a skill that you would need. Very friendly, very warm, and chatty as well, which really does help. So I could see you as a host. Could you see yourself as being a host? I know I'm flipping this a little, but what do you think?
Yeah, I guess I could see myself as a host. I mean, I'm really enjoying this right now. I love doing it, and I think it's a very fun job as well. As you said, it's a lot of fun.
It's enjoyable, definitely.
Yeah, as you said, it can be quite hard to get in there. But maybe I can start doing this just on YouTube, continue doing this.
Definitely.
And maybe one day someone will find me and say, I want her.
The thing is, I feel as though online is the new TV.
Yes.
People are online more than they are watching TV nowadays. The only difference is when it comes to payment, maybe. But if you find sponsors and stuff, they'll pay you.
Yeah, and you could make money through YouTube.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Loads of people have.
Yes.
So why not?
So I might try that. You always post really beautiful quotes on your Facebook, and I'm really enjoying that. I don't know if you noticed, but I always like all of them. And what is your favourite one, or what is the thing that you would like to say to YouTube right now? Like one of your favourite quotes, or maybe one of your favourite Bible verses.
You know what? There are two quotes that I absolutely love. The first one I believe is by Oscar Wilde, and I have it on my website. And it is, be yourself because everyone else is taken. And I absolutely love it because it's so true. He hit the nail on the head. The second one is one I found a couple of days ago, and I can't remember the author's name. But she said something along the lines of, when it comes to the end of her life and she is faced with God, she hopes that she won't have a bit of talent left in her, so that she can say to God, I used everything you gave me. And that touched my heart completely.
I saw that you posted it as well.
I absolutely love that quote. It's on my WhatsApp and everything, and that is a quote I'm definitely focusing on.
Yes. I also thought about that when you said you should really use your talents when we talked about it before. I was thinking about that quote as well.
Really?
So that was my last question. I hope you enjoyed the interview.
I sure did. Very cool.
Thank you so much for meeting me up here.
It's a
in
pleasure. Let's hug. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.